Oh, you're back?
Hey, there. Is that old man still hanging on?
Yeah. His illness has worsened, so he's bedridden now, but he's still holding on. Wouldn't mind if he kicked the bucket soon though.
They often discuss my father-in-law's inheritance and push all the caregiving responsibilities onto me. What do they even think of their father? Isn't that a bit too much? You're talking about inheritance before even saying hello since I returned. Your dad is still alive, you know?
Oh, come on. It's none of your business, isn't it? Can't you just stay out of it?
It's our business how we feel about our dad, isn't it?
Your wife seems to be flaunting her sense of justice, but was she always this troublesome?
She takes care of Dad and is the housekeeper, a convenient existence. Right now, the benefits outweigh the drawbacks.
I couldn't take it anymore. With that thought, I packed my things and went back to my parents' house. Then.
Hello? Where are you right now? Going out since the morning. What are you thinking?
What am I thinking? I'm neither your convenient housekeeper nor a caregiver, so why don't you two handle everything yourselves? My name is Sophia. Currently, I live with my husband and we both work. I met him through the CEO of the company where I used to work. I'm back. Closed the deal.
Oh. You brought in a big deal last week too. Truly remarkable. You're the ace of the sales department.
It's all thanks to you for nurturing me. I started working right after high school, initially doing part-time jobs at bars. I didn't go to college because I wanted to succeed with the band I was in during high school. Looking back, it might have been a reckless attempt, but being young, I didn't want to give up on my dreams. I practiced with the band during the day and worked at the bar at night. That's how I lived, but after a few years, everyone started to realize the reality and began to seek employment. The band disbanded, leaving me with nothing. It was the current he who reached out to me at that time. Good evening. Back again?
Ah. Sophia. I heard from the owner. You quit the band?
Yeah. So I've been thinking I should start looking for a proper job soon.
Then, how about trying sales at my company? Your customer service skills easily capture people's hearts, so I think your persuasion and communication skills would be useful in sales.
I was already over 20, had not graduated from college, and had only worked night jobs, so the company that would accept me was limited. I couldn't afford to miss this opportunity pouring down in front of me. If I missed it, I didn't know when I could find a new job again. Although I didn't know about him as a CEO, he often came to the bar every week and chatted with me. I knew he was a good person, so I started working at his company right away.
Oh, by the way. Sorry for asking about your private matters. But are you thinking about marriage?
Well, I've been thinking about it. But I haven't found anyone suitable yet.
Then, why not meet my son? It might feel like an arranged meeting, but you don't have to worry about me. Just talk, okay?
His son. I knew he was the same age as me, but I never expected to be introduced by the CEO. If we didn't get along after talking once, I would feel sorry for the president. But he never took advantage of his position as CEO and pressured me. Because it was his introduction, I thought it would be okay to meet him once.
Hey there. Dad told me about you. You're really beautiful.
He must be the type who isn't shy. He didn't seem nervous at all in front of me for the first time. But his friendly nature matched mine, and we got along well, both looking for a marriage partner. So, we started dating immediately. It was really fun when we were dating, and we got married in a year. Although it was just a formality, Becoming the CEO's family felt a bit odd, but we started enjoying married life. However, that enjoyable life only lasted for 6 months after marriage. Unexpectedly, the CEO fell ill.
Dad. Actually, he's been sick. Honestly, he's not in a condition to work anymore. And I think he'll need caregiving.
Is that true?
Yeah, it is. But Mom has a bad back, so she can't take care of Dad. We're thinking of moving in with my parents and taking care of Dad. Can you?
The CEO. No, he's my father-in-law now. The need for caregiving for him arose. Of course, I wanted to continue working, and we had no plans to have children, so we discussed both of us working. However, my husband really doesn't want to quit his job, and we can't leave caregiving to my mother-in-law alone. And I've received a lot of help from him until now. This is also a way to repay that kindness. So, I decided to gladly accept my husband's request. However, since moving to his parents' house, his attitude has drastically changed.
Hello?
Hello. It's already 10:30. Where are you?
I'm out drinking with my coworkers today, so I won't be back until morning. It's Friday night, so don't bother me.
Wait a minute. You're going to drink until morning again?
You're annoying. It's Friday, so it's my business what I do. See you later.
With that, he hung up. Why can he be so selfish? Sure, he was working, but since moving to his parents' house, he's been coming home much less frequently. Because I'm with my husband's family, I can't really complain about his behavior. He seems to be doing whatever he wants, taking advantage of the situation. I don't mind him going out to have fun, but I'm doing the housework and caregiving alone every day. Wouldn't it be nice if he showed some consideration for me? I started to think so.
What's with all the arguing since earlier? You're not complaining about something weird again, are you?
Just had a little disagreement because he's apparently going to drink until morning.
It's fine for him to go out and drink. But you're really a noisy person.
Here we go again. My mother-in-law blames me just because I had a little disagreement with him. So, I don't want to say anything strong to him. It's our matter as a married couple, so it's none of her business. But it's really frustrating. I want her to stop meddling in our marriage. It's about us as a married couple.
Because you haven't built a proper marital relationship, that's why I'm offering advice, right? You don't understand your position as a daughter-in-law.
We have our own relationship.
So, are you saying you won't listen to me? Who do you think you are?
Saying more complaints will only make her angry. Really? I haven't done anything wrong. Why do I have to be criticized like this? And why would parents interfere in marital disputes? If I were to interfere in her marital dispute, she would surely complain that I'm meddling unnecessarily. Besides, my husband is already an adult. How long does he plan to be treated like a child? Maybe this is just typical daughter-in-law bullying. Maybe she just doesn't like me, so she's saying mean things. But since moving to my in-laws' house, I've been living with accumulating stress. Are you feeling okay?
Oh. I'm fine. I'm sorry for relying on you for caregiving.
No. Please don't say that you're relying on me. I've never felt caregiving is a burden. When I said that, he smiled a little, but I could tell he was being considerate. Since his body is not free to move, the burden of caregiving on me is only increasing. I got married to him, and I've been taken care of by him for a long time, so I've told him many times not to worry about caregiving, unlike he and his mom, His dad isn't that pushy. Maybe I'm also showing my fatigue every day when I'm with him, so I should be careful not to burden him too much. I thought.
Hey, I'm going on a business trip starting tomorrow. I'll be back in 3 days.
Again. Isn't it more frequent lately?
It's work, so it can't be helped, right?
He also said he was working, but he was coming home less and less often. And his dad's condition was not improving. It was only getting worse. And yet, my mother-in-law doesn't involve herself in his caregiving at all. And recently, she's also worried about my sister-in-law.
Hey. I'm here to visit.
Long time no see.
I'm staying over tonight, so sleep in the living room.
Huh? What do you mean?
That's why. Since I'm coming back home for the first time in a while and planning to stay overnight, let me use the room you're using. After all, that room was originally mine, so there shouldn't be any complaints, right?
My sister-in-law came back to my in-laws' house without any notice and said that to me while I was cooking. I was so surprised that I stopped cutting the vegetables with the knife. Why is she so selfish? This family. Everyone except him is so selfish. As long as they're okay, it doesn't matter how others feel or what situation they're in. Well, certainly for her it's her own home, and I understand she wants to use the room I'm using. But isn't there a way to ask or say it differently? I understand.
And for today, I want beef stew for dinner, so please make that.
Beef stew. I was thinking of making steak today.
I don't feel like having steak, so make beef stew. You're living in this house, so it's only natural to listen to the family's requests, isn't it?
But perhaps she doesn't usually cook, but beef stew. It's not something I can just suddenly make. Plus, it's already 6:30 p.m., and if I go shopping now and make beef stew, it will take quite a while. Then I'll definitely get complaints from both of them. Caught in the middle between the two. What should I do?
Oh, you're back?
Hey, there. Is that old man still kicking?
Yeah. His illness has worsened, so he's bedridden now, but he's still hanging in there. I wish he'd just hurry up and die already for the inheritance, though.
Huh? For a moment, I doubted my ears. The two of them were talking about my father-in-law's inheritance. Certainly, he, who used to be the CEO, must have a considerable inheritance, but why are they talking about such an insensitive topic when he's currently battling illness? They seem indifferent to his condition, only caring about money. I want them to stop this. Wait a minute. Isn't that going a bit too far? You haven't even greeted me since I got back, and you're already talking about inheritance. Your dad is still alive, you know?
Hey, isn't this a matter that doesn't concern you? Can't you stop interfering in everything?
It doesn't matter how we feel about our dad. It's our business, isn't it?
You're acting like you're so righteous, but aren't you just a troublesome woman?
She takes care of Dad and does the housework, so she's a convenient presence. There are more benefits now.
Benefits. Did my husband really think of me that way? I've never once thought of him as just an ATM earning money for me. In times of hardship as a couple, we should support each other. That's what I believe. So, I did everything I could, never complaining even when I tirelessly cared for my father-in-law. However, my husband didn't share the same feelings as me. His words made my heart flutter a little. Did you really think of me that way?
Huh? Didn't you marry me just for my dad's money?
You're playing the role of a good wife taking care of him, but you just wanted to live in this big family home, right? Don't act so goody-goody, or it'll irritate me too.
Did I marry my husband for my father-in-law's inheritance? Please don't lump me in with you who only see people in terms of money. I have never once seen him as a source of money, and I still don't. And yet, I've had enough of being talked about like this, and finally, I reached my limit. Enough already. Both of you. What do you think of your dad?
That old man with dementia? I don't really care. He's not worth living, and he's just a troublesome guy who only costs money.
Huh? Is his brain not just inside his body but also broken?
Huh? That's right. Mom said he's already got dementia.
If you're talking about that old man, he's been suffering from dementia for a long time already.
I couldn't stand it anymore. I couldn't bear to hear any more of them looking down on my father-in-law. I immediately went to my father-in-law and told him everything the two of them had been talking about. And he was saddened too. The two of them who said such awful things to him. No, if we include my mother-in-law, it's 3 people. What do they really think of this family? And hearing such a terrible thing from him. My decision was made. That day, I tried not to get too upset, and the next evening, I packed my things and went back to my parents' house. The next day.
Hello? Where are you now? You've been out since morning. What are you thinking?
Huh? Is the business trip over? And what do you mean? What am I thinking? I'm not your personal maid or caregiver, so why don't you guys handle everything yourselves?
I got a call from my sis. What are you talking about? Caregiving is your job. You're taking care of our lives, so it's only natural that you do it.
That's why I left the house. I'm not here to take care of you anymore, so there's no need for you to be so presumptuous. I said that and hung up the phone. After that, he called me many times, but I ignored all of them. I'm not being supported by him anymore, so household chores and caregiving in my in-laws' house. It's none of my business. I turned off my phone and ignored his calls. But during that time, it seems that something terrible happened in my in-laws' house.
Who's gonna take care of Dad from now on?
I have no idea. Anyway, I'm leaving, so deal with it yourselves.
Why are you the only one being so selfish? You don't have a job, and you're young, so you should do it. He might not even be able to use the toilet by himself. I absolutely refuse to help with that.
I feel the same way. I don't want to do that either. Can't the men handle it?
I have a job, so I don't have time for caregiving.
It's a complete push and pull over taking care of the father-in-law. These people seem to have completely forgotten everything they've received from him. They should have had financial benefits as the family of a CEO. According to what my husband told me, they were often taken on trips abroad when they were kids, and they always got what they wanted, even on regular days, not just birthdays or Christmas. And even my mother-in-law. She used to get lots of luxury brand items, and she still thinks she can spend as much as she wants on her hobbies. All of this luxury was possible because of my father-in-law. Yet, when it comes down to it, nobody lends a helping hand.
Hello?
Hello. Sorry for not answering your calls earlier. I had turned off my phone.
That's fine. But it seems like we're about to wrap things up. So could you come over once?
I had been avoiding his calls because I didn't want to talk to him, but I didn't realize he had been calling me several times. He wanted me to come to their house right away, but it seems like they're ready to talk. I had discussed some things with him before leaving their house, so I'm prepared. I decided to head back to my in-laws' house, which would take about 2 hours. When I arrived, nobody was in the living room, but I heard voices coming from his bedroom. I quietly opened the door and saw him lying down, with 3 people sitting beside him.
You're here. I'm sorry to bother you. But first, we need to sign the divorce papers.
Saying that, he glanced at my husband. I looked at my husband and saw the divorce papers filled out beside him as he sat on the floor. I couldn't believe it. I had expected him to resist, but he agreed so easily. All thanks to my father-in-law.
You want a divorce because you were betrayed, right?
Yes, he cheated on me.
No, it's not.
You were just whining about not divorcing earlier. But it's okay now. I'll make sure you're useless. Cheating son pays for it. I promise you'll get alimony. So don't worry.
Normally, my husband would argue back, but in front of him, he remained silent like a sulky child. I don't know what he said to him, but I'm sure he got an earful while I was away. They thought he had dementia, but he's just bedridden due to illness. He doesn't have dementia. I don't know where they got that misconception from, but maybe because they never really communicated properly. They misunderstood. Honestly, can they really be called family? No. They're nothing like a family. He looked quite sad when he realized he was being mistaken for having dementia, but at the same time, he also seemed angry. And I heard about my husband's affair at that time. It seems he was making late-night calls, and I suspected this business trip might be a cheating trip. Sure enough, as soon as he found out I went back home, he came back immediately. It wasn't a business trip after all.
Also, we're selling this house, and I'll live in a care facility, cutting ties with you guys.
Wait a minute, Dad. I won't divorce her, and I'll cooperate with her. I'll take care of you until the end. Don't say you'll go to a care facility.
I've said it before. I don't trust you at all anymore. No. Not just you. I don't consider you 3 as family. You're just strangers. I won't let strangers take care of me, and I won't leave any money. I was planning to appoint you as the next CEO, but that's off the table too. You've underestimated people. Don't think you can get away with it.
He wasn't shouting because he was ill, but his words carried weight, and I immediately knew he was serious. That's why neither my husband nor my sister-in-law nor my mother-in-law could argue. They just sat in Siza listening to him. They probably knew it was bad to leave it like this, but they couldn't do anything. Serves them right. Their actions will come back to bite them. They won't do any caregiving, won't cooperate as family, but they want to enjoy the financial benefits? No way.
I don't know how you'll lie from now on, but you're strangers to me now. And to her. If she tries anything funny or harms her, I'll go after her thoroughly, so be prepared.
Yes. I'll divorce you and have no further ties, so if you stalk me, I'll report you to the police.
Shut up. What do you think of me? Damn it. If you hadn't meddled, none of this would have happened. You bastard.
He must have realized he couldn't do anything on his own. My husband completely lost it and blamed me. Who does he think he is? Mistreating me while cheating himself? But doing this will only make his situation worse.
I didn't mention this before, but I won't leave you any inheritance. So be prepared. If you have the luxury to inherit, donate it somewhere. I'll give her a part of it as thanks for taking care of me, but you won't get anything. That's a fact.
Wait, how am I supposed to live?
How you live is none of my concern. We're getting divorced, so I don't care. And as I said earlier, I've been getting a minimum salary as a CEO, so there's hardly any property distribution. Company assets and personal assets are separate, so don't expect anything.
The 3 probably never imagined a day would come when they would be told this by their family. but I don't think even he expected such treatment from his own family. It's their own doing. They can't complain about what he decides. And what he's saying isn't strange at all. It's only natural. On the contrary, if they thought they could have a good time at the end, despite never helping before, they were living in a fantasy world. It's the result of their own actions. So I wasn't all that surprised. I'll take my leave then. If anything happens, please feel free to contact me anytime.
Since you'll probably have a hard time with work from now on, would you like to work at our company?
Huh? Me?
Well, I trust you the most. Your sales performance seems to have dropped since you quit your job. So, both personally and for the company, we need you. Besides, it's partly my fault for getting you involved, so I'll take responsibility for your life.
As a person, and as a CEO, I truly respect him. It's not entirely his fault things turned out like this. He introduced me to my husband, but it was my decision to date and marry him. But maybe it's because of this manly side of him that my father-in-law couldn't forgive the three of them. Grateful for his words, I left my in-laws' house and returned to my parents' house once. His company was too far from my parents' house to commute, so working there would mean severing ties with my husband's family completely. But I didn't want to disregard his feelings, so I eventually decided to return to work in sales. How are you feeling? Everyone's waiting, so get well soon and come back.
I want to come back soon too. But my body isn't cooperating as expected. Well, I've recovered from being bedridden to being in a wheelchair, so that's something.
Now, I'm able to spend fulfilling days working at his company, and my father-in-law is slowly recovering through treatment, so it might not be long before he returns to work as CEO. According to what I heard, the three of them have been struggling a lot in life since then. Firstly, about my ex-husband, it seems he got into debt paying me alimony. And now he's struggling to repay it. My sister-in-law, despite her age, only works part-time, and since she used to rely on her parents' home when in trouble, now that that's not an option, she seems to be living in poverty. But the most tragic situation is with my mother-in-law. After divorcing him, she ended up penniless, and although she sold all her branded goods, that money ran out within a few months. They both need money to live on from now on, but my ex-husband and sister-in-law are struggling enough with their own lives, so they're in a situation where they're pushing my mother-in-law onto each other. Feeling unneeded and unable to receive help from anyone, it seems mentally tough for her. But well, it's the result of their actions, so it can't be helped. If you treat others carelessly, someday you'll surely be treated the same. So, I want to continue to value my relationships and cherish my loved ones forever. Narrator's thoughts. This is Sophia, the narrator. It's impressive how noble the father-in-law is, supporting the family so selflessly, yet those people never repay the favor. Why do things end up like this? Yeah, there are a lot of flaws in the family relationship. I strongly feel that when someone does something for you, you must always repay the favor. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe to the channel.